Hey detectives, welcome to the crew. I'm Sea Lord Janda, and this is my Let's Play of Disco Elysium. In the last episode, we crossed to the south side of the canal lock, and we're now exploring this little fishing village down here. $50. Can't see into the house from this angle. And it's locked tight. See the rum, young manis. What's up, old babushka? Woman next to a bucket of clothes hums an odd melody. Her eyes are closed.
You're not sure about the melody, but it might be South Samaran, possibly Sigayan, also known as the apricot sujunti.
Welcome to the fishing village. Please lean in closer. I have cataracts.
Then how does she know you're here?
Oh, welcome, police officer. We don't cause any trouble around here. And we don't want any trouble either.
We are not here to cause any trouble, madame.
We're cops, we're hell racers. Click, click, bang, bang. No, we don't cause trouble, we take care of trouble.
Oh, of course. Last time we saw you around here was 12 years ago. You also came to take care of trouble then. Wish you did. But still, in Martinez, you're considered an ill omen.
That's some low patrol frequency right there. What kind of ill omen are we talking about?
Oh, the usual. Dark tidings. Black hound.
I'm an ill omen, why hasn't anyone told me that?
Maybe they are afraid.
What?
Because you're an ill
Yeah,
omen.
it makes sense.
But you're still welcome here. As long as men with guns aren't chasing you. And maybe even then. Because that's the kind of fishing village we've built. I'm sorry
Kind where
there's not
men's
a
with
lot
gun
of
chase
room
you?
to park the motor carriage. And not a lot of houses. Or a lot of people. My kids are long gone. Searching for treasure. So are others. Ah, look at me ramble on. What brings you to us?
Where could someone stay around here?
Stay? Most people here are trying to leave. That said, if lodgings is what you're looking for, I've got a free room in the shack.
Her soapy thumb points to the building behind her. How much?
I won't charge you for it. Take it as a gesture of goodwill from the village to the RCM.
Oh. Man, there's this guy who makes me give him money every night just so I don't die out in the cold.
That's exactly how they get ya. That's why we built our own cinder block houses on the seaside. So we don't have to give money to those crooks. We might not look like much, but they are ours.
How come nobody's using the room?
My kids grew up and left like they do. The house is long empty now. I live in the small side attachment. It's easier and cheaper to keep warm.
Alright, you got yourself a tenant.
Don't make an old woman regret opening her house to the police.
The key appears from under her apron. She hands it to you.
Well, if you are not in the hostel in the morning, I'll know where to find you. Here, in a shack.
Exactly, Kim. Cheaper. Damn, I already paid guard though. Shouldn't have done that. Maybe we can get a refund. So what's in this fishing village?
Just us. It's barely a village anymore. We almost don't exist.
What do you mean?
This is pretty much a non-place. A gap. A blank spot on the map. Just a cluster of nameless shacks on a nameless street.
The place is so pornographically poor, it's not even funny.
Man, there's gotta be something here.
Over there, you can find more of the same. Shacks and trees growing wild. That's the pox.
Between here and Jamrock, a dusty sea of old trees, all covered in industrial soot. Small houses under them, an overgrown park.
A pox? What's that?
An old military hospital and its surroundings. Or it used to be, during the time of the suzerain. After the war, it was turned into a goodwill hospital for shell-shock veterans and folks looking for some quiet in the old sanatorium gardens. Now the area is crisscrossed with nameless streets and makeshift cinder block houses. Shacks as far as the eye can see.
What happened to the hospital?
The goodwill ran out. The staff left and the place was shut down. It's long gone by now.
Who else lives in this village?
Well, there's Lillian and her kids. A few new folks live in the house to the east, but they are away right now. And then there's the drunks. Not a pretty sight, but there's little we can do about it. Home is home, even for them.
I met Lillian already.
Lillian is tough. Tougher than the men here, at least. If it wasn't for her and the kids, this place wouldn't have a spark of life left.
Haven't seen any drunks yet, though.
Sooner or later, you'll see for yourself. Don't have to look long to find these guys.
Any way to make a little money around here?
Here? For you? No, officer. The only money we have here is some coins the drunks tried hiding from their women and then forgot about.
Under
Sounds
carts, boats, in little boxes. It's not hard to find.
Yeah, I have been finding that. This place is pornographically poor.
The lack of wealth is the one thing we've got in abundance.
The woman smiles cryptically.
Riddles. Fits with the general ambiance here.
Aye. Sometimes it's as though I'm also gotten lost inside this nameless nothing.
Me too.
Oh, it seems to be a common theme these days.
I think I'm in the process of finding myself again.
Isn't that what people always think when they are lost? Something I can do for you to find your way, officer?
Well, let's
She
see.
nods, rinsing another piece of cloth.
What's further down the coast?
Not much. There's the abandoned church, the DeLorean Church of Humanity. It's been there since before my time, even.
Why is it abandoned?
Some things just don't fly, officer. Look around. Who'd go to church here? They built it 300 years ago. Must have been nicer then.
I
So,
guess.
they don't hold services there anymore. The Ecclesiastes.
No, we've tried, but things just keep happening. Crime, accidents, other things. The place never stays open. It's a pity. It used to be such a nice church.
Alright, what else is down the
Before
coast?
you get to the church, there's some ruins, an apartment complex, or some kind of electrical plant. Run-down bunch of houses, empty.
Anything else to know?
Of note, the old fish market up on the boardwalk, but it's closed.
We want to come to a fish market here.
No one. That's why it's closed.
Yeah, makes sense.
It was once a bustling place, back when I was young, and so was everyone else. Now, what catch we do bring in goes straight into a lorry for the Delta or somewhere else.
You'd think there has to be more along the coast.
What? You're one of those real estate people with big plans? If you want a development opportunity, you can check out the abandoned building over at Land's End. Used to be a supply depot, we think, sending goods and ammo across the bay. It's jammed shut though. We tried to get in, see if there was anything to sell or scavenge, but it's impossible. And now you know everything there is to know about this coast.
She drops a bar of soap into the bucket with a splash. Well, tell me about yourself. Who are you here?
Me? No one. Just an old washerwoman. Mother called me Isabel, if that's what you're asking. And my married name is Sadie. Now it's your turn, Mr.
Lieutenant W. Freitor Harrier Dubois.
Quite a handle you got there. So many titles. One of them double.
Indeed, indeed. I was asked to get your signature, by the way.
Eh? What's this about? Come now, I can't read all this scribble. Tell me what it says.
Bien Everett wants to turn part of the village into a youth center.
Huh. I might be half blind, but it looks like part of the village is gonna be a street. The best part. The part we need to get out of our houses. I see Lillian's name is already here. The girl is too trusting. Either way, I won't sign union papers.
She hands the envelope back to you. What'd the union do to you?
I've seen it all before. You think they've got our interests at heart? Rich men are always selling poor men promises we never planned to keep.
She pulls a dark red rag out of the bucket and puts it back.
Then the poor get pushed out of their homes and the rich get a little richer. That's the way it goes. So, no, I don't trust the fat man, and neither should you.
Oh, I
In
don't
her
trust him,
mind,
but
the Union is right-wing because Everard is fat. It's that simple, and there's no changing it.
yeah, fair enough. No, she called out the, I was wondering what the flaw was all along, and she called it out.
The door has seen better days. The layer of paint has started to peel off due to the salt and wind from the sea. Even the lock looks slightly rusted.
I'll wait outside to give you some time and privacy to check out your new living arrangement. But just so you know, after we are done with the day, I'll still be staying in the Whirling in Rags for the night. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
What, you don't want to join me in the
The
shack?
key turns
Okay.
with a satisfying click. You can enter the shack now.
Well, it's a shack. It's actually not that bad in here. Oh, put a shift jacket. Logic.
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see the reflection of your face in it, adorned with the expression.
You see the waves, the sea, a church. A lot of stuff has pointed us to this church.
On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and next to it, a small hand mirror. A straight razor soaks inside the wash basin.
It's shaving the right
The
color.
water reflects back a vague image of your face. Nose bulbous and red, hair unkempt, wrinkles lining the eyes and forehead. The stash is gigantic,
Let's shave. Try not to die in the
like an
process.
artist with a brush
Nice.
or a master swordsman. You use the small mirror and the straight razor with some soap to remove all that unkempt hair from below the nose line. The sharp blade chafes against your skin, producing a scratching sound. The surface
We
underneath the
still
blade
look
feels tender.
deranged, but slightly less
The air
deranged, I
brushing
think.
against it, chilly.
Really clean
They
shaven
feel
cheeks.
so smooth, surprisingly so. A feeling of freshness overcomes you, as if you just came from a cold bath.
Was shaving the right
The
color?
water reflects back a vague image of your clean-shaven face. Despite the bulbous nose, unkempt hair, and persistent swelling, you look a little younger, maybe. You
Fantastic.
almost look like a professional.
What a success. Floorboards creak under your step. Old science fiction magazines. Books about bird watching. An almanac from 39. This intricate heat engine hums quietly, giving out pleasant warmth. Using a thermodynamic expander condenser cycle. Nice.
A brisk coastal wind still howls against the window of the shack. Occasionally, the waves crawl in under the foundation, producing a low hum. The room feels muffled, like you pulled your hat over your ears. Outside, it is cold and windy, but you're inside, and it feels safe and warm.
What is this place to you?
Well, looks like this is my new home. Wonder where the old one went.
Westward, across the canal, towers the Whirling in Rags. Door number 1 on the second floor is locked. Behind it lies a trashed room. 1 floor below, behind a counter, stands an irritable man. In a small shack in the fishing village, a baroque heater hums quietly, emanating a sense of comforting warmth. A wash basin lies on the table, the water inside reflecting the somber face of the world. Far away, on the corner of Perdition and Main, a nondescript building, obscured in a haze. It's vacant and lost, just like its tenant.
Thank you, strange sensation, for an assessment of the current situation.
Outside, the howl of the wind has picked up. The waves crash against the stilts again. It's as if you think the thought, but in someone else's voice.
Look under the floorboards.
Oh boy. What the hell's under the floorboards?
On the table, you
Hardly shave again. We figure out the expression
an
now.
old mirror hangs on the wall. You see your reflection
Oh.
in it.
I have a slightly better
The
chance.
expression fixed. Still not happening.
Still no.
It won't come off that easy.
Even having shaved, huh?
The bed is comforting, if a bit.
No, it's not time to rest yet. Under the floorboards, huh? Well, we'll see if we can circle around somehow. Inside, you hear the cozy sound of some kind of heater sputtering. I think we probably have to get around back to look under the floorboards. I don't know. There's no option to do so in there. The street sign is illegible below the graffito. Hey kids, what's up?
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone. He can't be more than 5 years old. The other one looks indistinguishable from him. He watches his brother kick the stone with his tongue lolling out of his mouth.
You must be Lillian's twins.
This one doesn't say anything, kicking the concrete with his worn-out sneaker.
Lily's our mum.
Explains the other one, tongue still lolling out of his mouth. Yeah.
The stone kicker
I already
laughs
said that.
suddenly. His head is too large for his shoulders. The other one laughs as well. Wow, so intellectually stimulating.
You guys look identical.
The stone-kicking one becomes frantic all of a sudden, as if that's something to be scared of. The obvious fact that you just stated.
He looks just like me.
Yeah, I said that.
The boy doesn't answer. His brother throws another rock. Both of their hair is covered in some kind of dirt.
You're bad with kids.
What are you, Kid Master General Kim?
Maybe I am. Now, how about some actual police work? We are not getting anything here.
Alright, bye kids, take care. They appear to be pretty ordinary children. Hard to see the details. The colors, all warm and welcoming, are cozy though. Flower trough where nothing really grows. Maybe in spring. It's Lillian's house, or whose place to just... Why is there a kid in here? Industrial coal pellets burn with an orange glow. Steal this taxidermy of a grouse. Seems a little rude. Who's this kid?
Hello, mister.
A young girl, barely 4 or 5 years old, sits on the sofa. She's looking at you with frank curiosity.
She clutches a small stuffed animal. Occasionally, she twirls it around.
Are you Lillian's daughter?
Yes, I am. Little Lily.
She gazes.
You know my mom?
She gazes at you with her big eyes. Yes, we met earlier.
That's nice. My mom is great. She's never angry or anything.
Are the twins outside your brothers?
Yes. They don't want to play with me. They're older and play outside. They look the same. Sometimes I can't tell them apart.
Yeah, they look identical, right? I said the same
They
thing.
look identical.
She slowly processes the word, then snickers with laughter. What's this bird?
It's a grouse.
She yelps, smiling broadly.
Wasn't Gar, the cafeteria manager, trying to repair a piece of taxidermy?
Yes, but what's it for?
I don't know.
But can I have it?
Sure. Just go and get it. I don't like it anyways. It looks angry.
All
I
right.
feel like this is still
you just need
theft.
to grab it from the ceiling.
Like the 4-year-old
and
is
go.
not the responsible person to ask about this, but what's that you're
It's
holding?
Lammy. He's my friend. Sort of. Like,
She holds the fuzzy piece up to demonstrate.
Lambie is a stuffed lamb that, admittedly, has seen better days. One of the eye buttons is missing, and the fur is tattered in several parts.
Oh, well. Pleased to meet you, Lammy.
Lammy usually doesn't like strangers. But you're also fuzzy, like Lammy.
That's nice. You got any armored gloves?
Oh, I had gloves. Very big ones. Heavy, too.
Where did you get these gloves?
Found them when Lammy and I were playing hide and seek. In an empty house. Where no one lives. I think someone hid them there.
She doesn't want you to think she stole them.
Where are they now?
I hid them. The twins were gonna take them. They're stupid.
She lifts her stuffed toy up and looks into its one remaining eye as though searching for confirmation.
We are going to need those gloves. It's for important police business.
He enunciates the last 2 words carefully.
Oh.
She doesn't seem to understand, but the lieutenant's tone has conveyed to her the important part.
They're in my sandcastle. Behind our house. Under the sand. You can break the castle. It's not very good.
Alright, bye, Louis.
Bye!
The girl's large, curious eyes remain fixed on you. I feel a little bad about stealing the grouse, I'm not gonna lie. I might go talk to Lillian about the, buying the grouse off of her. Because I think if I buy it fairly, I might win goodwill with, what's his face? Garth, but apparently the map goes off to the west a little ways. Let's just explore this sand pit and then...
Weather has not been kind to Lily's little sandcastle. The once mighty towers are quickly eroding away. You can see something shining back to you from what must have been a vast underground catacomb network. The walls and floors give way to the giant's greed, collapse and present you with a pair of ceramic gauntlets.
Well, it's a sandcastle. It was gonna collapse anyway.
Congratulations. That's the gauntlets down then. We're doing good on the armor collection front.
We are. Are they good enough to wear? Picked up a lot of clothes lately, actually. +2 interfacing. Oh, and my current ones are +1 interfacing, so these are straight up an upgrade. Clenching and unclenching your fist has never been so fun. The tiny ceramic plates make a lovely clicking sound when your fingers move. The gloves are a bit sandy, but the grip is phenomenal. Sweet. You're up to 6 interfacing now. Be nice to have more empathy, but we don't seem able to have more empathy. I'd love to have slightly more psyche, but apparently that's not gonna happen. Let's put some points into rhetoric, I guess. Why does this keep happening? Okay. See if there's anything else in this village before we leave. I feel like those drunks are down here. We never got to talk to them. Yeah, they're right there. Construction material. Whoever planned to build this house left in a hurry. These guys seem like they can be irritable. What's up, lads? Grumbles an unshaven man with a ruddy nose. He narrows his eyes at you as if in recognition, then turns his head away.
The noxious odor emanating from the drunken man is strong and familiar.
Don't you call her? Yeah! Don't call Abigail!
Who's Abigail?
Uh-huh. Abigail. Don't you fucking call Abigail.
You're not going to get anything out of this guy. He's too drunk.
Tell me about your friends?
Don't you fucking call her! Hear me? Abigail?
Whimpers in the end. Okay, you're too drunk.
Don't call Abigail.
Whimpers softly, his voice trailing off into nothingness. How about you?
Hey, tequila!
Idiot Doom Spiral. A 30-something man clad in a two-piece lycra TM tracksuit puts down his pilsner and extends his hand in greeting.
Good to see you. How's business? How's the whole reality situation treating you?
Check his
So
hand.
what's happening?
Wait, tequila?
Yeah, tequila sunset. How are the, high-concept, reality-based adventures proceeding?
He says it like it's obviously your name. Like you call someone Billy Brunel or leader of the 4th Street gang.
Not too hot, on a bit of a 50-year losing streak.
That's harsh. I'm like 3 or maybe 4 years into mine. Wait, no. Make it 5.
He looks at his shit-stained lycra with a grim expression.
Things aren't going super well for Idiot Doom Spiral either. Haven't found those keys yet, haven't won that great piece of ass back. No word from my business buddies.
He takes a sip from his beer.
Idiot Doom Spiral, huh? This is bound to be a good, high-concept conversation. At last.
What do you guys do around here?
We are saving the world.
Pretty sure you just drink.
Please. Please don't go. Don't go.
Begs the man in the pipe.
Okay, we're drinking. We're drinking alcohol. That's what we're doing. I tried to save the world once, a long time ago, with enterprise, creativity, and willpower. But that didn't work out. So now, it's a pirate's life for me.
What's a tequila sunset? You keep saying.
It's you. Your tequila sunset.
How do you know that?
We've met before. Don't you remember?
No, you sure don't.
Nope.
Aha. Do you want to know how Tequila Sunset came to be?
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Let me take a sip to moisten up my cords. Tequila Sunset rolled into Martinez last Friday. And by Tequila Sunset, I mean you. The man, the myth.
Did we meet on Friday?
Hey, let's not jump ahead of ourselves. This is your story. Stop interrupting.
He takes another sip, then continues.
You got here on Friday to solve a case, hoping to be the early bird who gets the worm. And by the worm, I mean the buzz. Because as far as I know, all you did was get piss drunk.
Sounds right, yeah.
Word on the street is you went around the local hostel telling people that you're a police officer, and that it would be really fucked up if you shot yourself in the head right in front of them. That's pretty high concept, if you ask me.
Sure.
It is.
Oh.
The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He's listening as casually as he can.
What happened? No, this sounds exactly like me. What
It was
happened
a
then?
late Saturday night when we, the Union of Moribund Alcoholics, were getting our drink on. Nothing remarkable about this. We get our drink on 24/7. Makes everything warm and glowy. I trust you know the feeling. One moment we hear the sound of a motor carriage revving up somewhere on the plaza, followed by a series of dings and bangs.
Ah, these are the guys I partied with after I crashed my car into the sea. Gotcha.
Do you remember the sound of wood cracking? The billboard?
Naturally, loud noises pique the interest of anybody owning a pair of ears. That's just the reality we're in.
Naturally.
Anyway, there was a brief silence. A gasp of silence, if you will. Followed by a real commotion. We heard the carriage careening towards the coast at top speed. Sounded like someone jumped the canal. We grabbed our brewskis and rushed to the jetty. Never underestimate the speed of an alcoholic. What we saw was a sight to behold. A beat-up police carriage containing you. Right there on the beach. You revved the engine and screamed at the top of your lungs, "The time hath come!" So, naturally, being the curious cat I am, I asked what time hath come. To which you replied, "The time hath come for Tequila Sunset, the end of all things."
I think I'll probably just say nothing. It's more dignified that way.
After which, your reality contracted. You jammed the pedal, plowed right off the jetty, and through the ice.
The muscles in your right leg tense up.
We ran towards the ice whilst you crawled your way out, miraculously unhurt, covered in seaweed and shit, like some kind of sea monster. When we finally got there, you were sitting on the beach crying. You said that your badge and uniform were in the car. It was too late to get in there, though. The carriage had sunk too deep.
In this way, you and your motor carriage have a lot in common.
Recognizing a brother in need, we offered our condolences and invited you to party with us, which you naturally agreed to. We asked about the whole Tequila Sunset thing, and you told us it was your name now and insisted that we all call you that from then on.
Say my real name's Harry?
No, that's just what your mother called you. Your real name is Tequila Sunset. Just embrace it, brother.
Okay, how long do we party for?
Hours. It was an all-night drink-a-thon. Then, at some point, I think it was Sunday morning, you got belligerent and wanted to talk about Revacholian women.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
How they're beautiful and also whores and so on. How one of them fucked you real bad. After a short while, you crossed the event horizon, looked sullen, got up, and left without saying anything.
Wow, that's quite a story.
It sure is, Kim. It sure
Yeah.
is.
I bet Tequila's a fucking legend around the precinct. You must be proud to work with him.
If you only knew.
Did I happen to tell you anything specific about this person that fucked me?
You were pretty vague about it, but you kept saying you got fucked real hard, and that we've all been fucked too.
No one's fucked me. I do the fucking around here.
Alright, Rosemary.
Abigail.
You seem like you were fucked,
It
buddy.
seemed pretty painful, to be honest with you. If I had to guess, I'd say you're still working through some shit.
Did I mention losing anything else?
Beside your gun and your badge, you said something about your hope or heart or something. To be honest, the details are a little hazy. In retrospect, I guess you lost your motor carriage too? That's a big one.
Yeah. Did I say anything about my colleagues?
You told us that they were a bunch of fucking losers whose main interest was cramping your style.
Sounds right, yeah.
No specifics, though. It was more about you that night. You were the star of the show.
Did I even mention the case?
Yeah, you said it was no biggie and that you'd solve it in no time.
Oh boy.
And that you didn't need anyone to do it. You're doing it solo now.
A lot of cops go solo and hermit once they reach that level of alcoholism.
Thanks, Kim. I didn't happen to mention anything political, did I?
Yeah, you kept talking about how the coal mine owners were fucking us all over, just like that woman fucked you. I didn't agree with you, by the way. The spectral hand of the market makes sure everyone gets exactly what they deserve.
He takes a long sip of beer. Did you get a read on what kind of cop I am?
You kept calling yourself a goddamn superstar who'd cleared 501 cases.
As you've already determined, the actual number is 216. But what's a little embellishment between friends?
I see.
No thanks to the squares at the precinct, as you put it.
Well, this has been enlightening.
It's a hard
Idiot
thing
doom
for a
spiral.
man to confront his past. That's why I avoid mine at all costs.
You seem characterized by storytelling ability. Want to tell me another one sometime?
Whoop-de-doo. So now I'm a fucking storyteller. Right. Why not? Better than a beach bum.
Yeah. How'd you end up being idiot doom spiral?
It depends, really. Are you willing to help me out?
You might get scammed here.
I have a feeling this is going to cost me a lot.
Booze! Did you already forget our party? The thing I relayed to you earlier. So, have you got anything for good old idiot doom spiral? A bottle for a story. Seems fair to me.
I'm not some kind of enabler idiot doom
In
spiral.
that case, I'm not a storyteller.
Be
You
seeing you.
too, Tequila Sunset.
I don't think buying alcohol's a good idea in my
Good to see you,
condition.
friend. Do I have deals set up for you, buddy boy?
To see you too, friend?
So what do you want? I got smokes. They're cheap. Very cheap. I got Pilsner. Great deal. You won't get a better deal on that piss. Spirits I can let go for 300 real. I also have speed. And by speed, I mean amphetamine.
You have amphetamine?
Aye, by amphetamine, I mean speed.
I'm thinking you didn't hear me when I said I'm a police officer.
Sure did, buddy boy. That's why I said amphetamine. I mean speed. I mean amphetamine. I got both.
Thought by speed you meant amphetamine.
Aye, that's what I said.
Right.
Good, my man. Now what can I offer you?
Why does a bottle of spirits cost 300 real when a Pilsner is 150?
See, friend, it's real valuable. Worth every real, if you catch my drift. Got it from a bit of a business venture. You know, it's funny actually.
He bursts out laughing, then takes 3 gulps of his Pilsner and stares at you
He's
intently.
finding it difficult to focus his watery gaze.
What is?
What?
Keep him talking.
What do you mean, what? What do you think was funny earlier?
This guy.
He says and shakes his index finger at you. Where did you get the spirits from?
Oh, this is medicinal spirits. The good stuff. Got it from the doctor's office. I got one of those scientific ampoules a few months ago. Torpedo, they call it. It's supposed to keep a man from taking a drink.
He spits a nasty yellow clot on the ground before
Didn't
you.
stop me for shit, that's for sure. 5 lemons with half a pack of butter and you're good to go.
What? It's a good tip, I'll bear it in mind.
It really isn't. In a week, the goddamn kidneys started giving me all kinds of help. Finally, the missus took me to a private doctor's office. Not a charity, the real thing. Those arseholes charged me £4 to remove the damn thing. But I came out on top after all.
Ow.
The idiots left me alone in there. Now, I used to teach high school biology. I know what doctors use to preserve dead fingers.
It's an excited gleam in his eyes.
Like 3 cans of this blue medicinal stuff from the back room. Threw the snakes out and voila! What's left is this beautiful blue stuff. 98.7%, almost pure alcohol.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. The only trouble is it will not be very healthy to drink.
2 I already sold to these fine gentlemen here.
Oh boy.
But this last one is yours for £3 if
3?
you want it.
What happened to 300?
Don't say it.
No thanks.
So what do you want then?
You know what?
Bottoms up, Captain.
I'm gonna buy this because...
In the civilized world, it's a custom to tip the shopkeep, friends.
Since when?
But come back anyway.
Tequila suns. Wonderful.
Here's some booze.
Not much, but it will do.
He grabs the bottle from your hand and uncorks it
Hey,
immediately.
Spiral Boy, you gonna share that?
I just bought it from you, idiot.
Don't call Abigail.
Shut up, guys. I'm telling a story here. Something happened to you. Something happened to me, too. My actual name is George, but around here, you already know. I was once a reasonably high net worth individual, a founder/junior partner at a high concept creative services agency. When my story begins, I had just landed a major contract with an insurance firm.
Go on.
I used the profits from my agency to finance what I called a cultural incubator. Abstract value generation, value per person, high concept stuff.
You're a real high concept kind of guy, huh, idiot?
I
Duke
developed
Spiral.
the paradigm, worked within the paradigm, but the burden of leadership weighed heavily on me. So I went jogging every so often to keep myself sane.
Did it help?
It did. With my trusty Sansarique tracksuit, I felt like I could conquer the world. But now dreams are worn thin, much like my tracksuit.
He says thoughtfully, brushing dust off his shit-stained pants. What
One
happened?
day I left on my evening run. As you may know, it's impossible to clear your head when you're distracted by the sound of keys jangling in your pockets.
He shakes the bottle and makes a ringing sound.
His eyes are clouded, his dilated blood vessels encircling his irises like stinging brambles.
Something just radically changed with the lighting. Sure, it just got much brighter.
His eyes are your eyes.
So I removed the key ring and put the keys for the front gate and the apartment into different pockets to stop the jangling, you see? At least, that was the plan. I was halfway done with my usual lap when it started to rain. The reality situation became very wet, very quickly.
And what are we talking?
Wet, okay? It was raining really hard.
Just a trace of derision in his voice.
I made my way back home and discovered that I didn't have the key to the front gate. I'd mixed it up with the key to the letterbox, which was useless. Naturally, the situation required me to climb over the gate, which I did. There was no climbing down because I slipped and landed on my ass.
Ouch.
Ouch, indeed. Reality was looking rather grim just then. Me lying on my ass in a mud pit in the middle of a heavy shower. But when life knocked me down, I always got up.
How did this destroy your whole life?
So I made my way across the yard. Standing in front of my apartment door, fumbling with my pockets, I realized that I'd also forgotten my apartment key.
Damn, that sucks. What happened next?
I rang my neighbor's buzzers. It was late, and most of them didn't even answer. Those who did assumed I was trying to sell them something and hung up before I could even explain the situation. People are naturally wary of ad men, you see. One moment someone chats you up, 5 minutes later you've bought a box of edible lingerie and a strap-on. I don't begrudge them, especially since I was known to be one of the best.
He pauses meaningfully.
Just then, I experienced a moment of clarity. I still had the key to my office. I could wait out the storm there. But when I reached my office, I remembered that I'd asked one of my producers to change the locks that day. And since I hired only the best, he'd already done it, and I couldn't get in. Anyway, long story short, life spiraled out of control. I haven't gotten into my apartment for years, and my girlfriend left me because she didn't want to date a homeless man. The company, well, you see where I'm going with this. So, now you've heard my tragic tale. What do you think? Like nothing you've ever heard, huh?
I feel like there's some significant steps missing here, buddy.
Tequila, I've thought about this series of events for a long time. If there was anything else to it, I would have thought of it by now.
Why didn't you go to the authorities?
Well, at one point they came to me, but, you know, I didn't have any ID on me, so they tossed me in jail for 2 days. I can't say it increased my faith in the RCM. No offense, gentlemen.
This is look on the bright side. You got a nice story.
Yeah, maybe I've exaggerated certain parts over the years. When you tell a story too often, it begins to take on a life of its own. But what matters is that it's true to my subjective experience. Anyway, that was all the story one bottle gets you. Almost empty, this one.
Truly, he has the soul of an artist.
Why do you lose all your stuff?
Good fucking question, Tequila. If I knew the answer, you think I'd be hanging out on a beach in this formerly premium but now extremely dirty two-piece lycra tracksuit? I used to own my reality situation. My business buddies and I had our own creative services agency. I had a nice apartment, an even nicer piece of ass. But somehow it all got away from me.
Yeah, the only way his story makes any sense is if he was insanely alcoholic already by then.
Now I can't hang on to anything. Just last week I stole this nice new jacket, but then I lost it too. The only things I haven't lost are these two drunks.
A lost jacket? Sounds like a mystery you could look into.
What's your agency called?
My agency, man. The Boom Boom Room. Our concept was combining high art with the lowest forms of marketing. The color red, breasts, and oil painting. I convinced my partners to reinvest some of our profits in an even more high-concept cultural incubator called Thin Air. The artists were happy, the clients were happy. I was financing a group of poets in East Revachol who were developing a new universal poetic language. But then it all went to shit.
He looks
If it
babe.
sounds like it makes no sense, that's because it doesn't.
That's, sounds kind of like cynical wankery to me.
Well, you know, sex sells. That's the first rule of advertising.
Yeah, alright, I'm sure the market will sort it out.
That's what's so cool about advertising. It's kind of like art, except you can also get fucking rich doing it.
What's up with the tracksuit?
What? You've never seen 100% Lycra before? Go on, feel that primo material.
The man extends his arm.
Pretty nice, huh? This might be one of the last of its kind. Should probably be in a museum, honestly.
He takes another sip. What the hell? Why did that hurt my
Good
arm?
God. It's nearly impossible to describe how dirty this texture is. It's like rubbing two jellyfish skins together. You feel about 15% less human for having touched it. Randomized trials have also found Lycra, TM, to be associated with a number of exotic, highly malignant cancers. So you also have that to look forward to. And then there's the smell. But you don't even want to think about that.
Wow, you're lucky. He never lets me feel it.
That's because your paws are fucking filthy, Rosie. We're right next to the bay. You could wash them any time.
So what about the other
My
drugs?
fellow members of the Union of Moribund Alcoholics? They're exactly what they look like.
Hey, tequila! You want to buy some speed?
Shut the fuck up, Rosemary. He's a cop, remember?
I thought he was a cool cop.
Don't call Abigail.
And this is Abs. So yeah, that's basically us. We drink together.
Is this about a lost Jack?
Tequila, it's a verifiable tragedy. It was practically brand new. Sure, it didn't really go with my Lycra threads, but it did itch a lot less. Say, you're a detective, right? Maybe you can help old Doom Spiral out. Solve the case of the missing jacket. What do you say, Tequila?
Alright, sure, where'd you lose
If
it?
I knew where I lost it, don't you think I'd have it? I mean, maybe I was up by the boardwalk, or walking along the beach, or checking out the abandoned fish market.
That's so many places, buddy.
Somewhere north of here, that's for sure. You could ask around, see if anyone's seen it.
Alright.
I'm all ears, Tequila.
Got any other stories?
I do. But as you can see, my fuel tank is running quite low. If you catch my drift.
I don't have any.
Cottonmouth is keeping my tongue imprisoned.
Should I keep buying this guy booze?
The legend returns. You know the dance. Smoke a bottoms up, Captain.
Try one. I don't know how many stories he
Tequila
has.
Suns. Of course. Drink not much, but the tale I'm about to tell you is an urban legend particular to Martinez. That said, I first heard it from a former bicycle courier in Coran. There are many variations on the basic story, and the details often conflict. What everyone agrees on is that nobody knows the exact nature or identity of the phenomenon.
I see.
Are you telling the story of the headless?
Shut the fuck up, Rosemary.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Summer of 44. 17-year-old Gertrude Het is walking home from a late shift at the harbor. It's almost midnight. She stops for a cigarette near the canal.
The streets are warmed by a southerly breeze. The lights of a passing motor carriage bloom and fade in the distance. In the harbor's dark, her cigarette is a beacon, dancing alone. The image comes to you effortlessly, as though you'd walked the same streets yourself 1,000 times.
Our heroine finds herself enjoying the peace and quiet the canal provides.
He looks up to the skies as if searching for peace himself.
What she doesn't know is that her peace is about to be shattered. From behind her comes the clattering of hooves. Startled, she turns around, and what does she see?
A horse?
Well, yes, but it's the man on the horse that's of interest here. A man...
The pause is long and dramatic.
No head?
with no head on his shoulders. Wearing a found tracksuit, searching for the legendary found cap that went missing when he lost his head.
Wait, I thought the headless Falcon Rider rode a bull.
I thought that he rode a headless pig.
The Senate says with a little smirk.
Well, there are many versions of this story, the most peculiar of which has the headless found rider riding on the back of another headless man.
Sounds fairly implausible.
If I hadn't lost my keys that one time, I'd agree with you. But life is a cruel mistress.
Makes it simple.
Gertrude Het may have been the first to witness the headless Faun Rider, but she wasn't the last. Oh no.
Tell him about the two feminists by the locks.
Fuck, Rosemary, they were dating. No one said they were feminists. Everyone always misremembering this stuff.
This wouldn't be the De Ponte Delgado case, would it?
What? You know it?
I've read the case file. But please, go on.
Right. Early autumn of 46. Ula de Ponte and Eva Delgado are fishing near the waterlock long after the sun has set. The wind picks up. A sky already dark now blackens. Water starts falling from above. The first cold rain of the season.
Two women stand on a small outcropping of rocks. One of them is wearing a purple raincoat. Thin lines reach out from the rods into the sea. Small droplets start appearing on the surface with increasing frequency.
The women are caught in the downpour. They act quickly. Eva gathers the rods whilst Ula turns around to reach for the tackle box. When she sees something, her shriek is so violent that the residents of the nearby apartment building believe lightning has struck. But there is no lightning. Only a heavy downpour and the silhouette of the headless Faun Rider looming on the horizon. Ula makes a run for the shore, but Eva slips on a wet rock and disappears into the cold, cold canal with nary a sound. Her body is never recovered.
The case file say?
Naturally, Ula de Ponte became the prime suspect in the disappearance of Eva Delgado. De Ponte maintained that it was the so-called headless Faun Rider and that she ran fearing for her life.
He adjusts his glasses.
During the investigation, it became apparent that there was a love triangle, the third party being some small-time businessman. I don't remember the exact details. The leading theory was that an argument broke out on the jetty and De Ponte pushed Delgado into the canal, then cooked up this stupid cover story.
Yeah, makes more sense. Okay, was she
No.
arrested?
She committed suicide before she could be taken into custody. They found her in the bathroom with a rifle, her face slowly peeling off the ceiling. Not a pretty scene.
Ouch.
Man, that's some grisly detail. Oh well. Here's to another case closed.
He takes a hearty swig from his bottle.
Anyway, that's the story of the headless Faun Rider. Pretty crazy, huh?
Who was he before he died?
Well, Tequila, that's part of the legend. No one knows for sure. There are a couple of possibilities, though. Some say he was an undercover cop who blew his cover and got beheaded by the vicious gang he had infiltrated. Now he rides, searching for his lost found cap, plotting revenge. Others claim he was a professional jockey who veered off course during a steeplechase, ended up in somebody's backyard, and got decapitated by an exceptionally taut clothesline. Personally, I think he was just some guy who hanged himself from a really tall tree, and the fall was so violent that his head came clean off. Coincidentally, at that exact moment, a horse happened to pass under him, and his beheaded corpse mounted it, where it remains to this day. But then, no one really knows.
Somehow that's the least likely possibility. Probably the undercover cop.
That would explain the tracksuit and his need for revenge. Not sure how the horse fits in, though. I don't know, I don't buy it.
He shrugs.
Anyway, to each his own. You want to hear any other stories?
What became of the headless Faun Rider?
No one knows. Some say he stalks Martinez to this day, and can be seen near the canal when the clock strikes midnight.
He makes a spooky gesture with his
He
free
won't,
hand.
though, because it's just a stupid legend.
Aye. I saw him one night when I was right shit-faced.
Yeah, that sounds right. Got any others?
I actually do have one. Do you have anything to fortify old Doom Spiral? If you find any, I'd be...
We might buy more booze, but I'm gonna call it for today. Next episode, or next time, we will head up north through the fish market and the church. But for now, for now, we're going to call it here. So thank you all very much for watching. I hope you all have a nice day. This is Sea Lord Jenda, signing off.